Welcome to your ultimate pit stop, Piston Pundit, where even the skies fall under our wrench. Beneath the thunder of jet engines, a quiet corporate maneuver has ignited a storm that now shakes Washington, Wall Street, and the world's runways. Boeing's decision to shift part of its aircraft assembly offshore wasn't just a cost-cutting play. It became a flashpoint for national pride, global competition, and the fragile trust that keeps modern aviation aloft. What began as an internal boardroom adjustment has erupted into a high-altitude showdown, testing America's industrial loyalty, regulatory nerve, and manufacturing soul. Buckle up. Here are the developments sending shockwaves from Seattle to Shanghai. Ignition point, the hidden move that sparked a political inferno. It didn't start with a press release, but with internal memos. Under pressure from shrinking margins, supply bottlenecks, and fierce competition, Boeing quietly planned to shift part of its commercial jet production to Mexico, a move meant to cut costs, not spark chaos. When word leaked, Donald Trump exploded, threatening 200% tariffs on any aircraft assembled abroad. Overnight, a logistical decision turned into a political battleground: national loyalty versus global efficiency. The White House framed the move as defending American jobs, while CEO Kelly Ortberg insisted Boeing needed flexibility to survive. Markets panicked, lawmakers demanded hearings, and Boeing's stock tumbled as industrial towns braced for impact. What began as corporate restructuring became a symbolic test of America's industrial identity. The clash between politics and pragmatism widened beyond aerospace, revealing the cracks in U.S. globalization. That single spark would ignite a larger confrontation, a test not just of Boeing's resilience, but of America's resolve to stay competitive in a fractured global order. But the political spark was only the beginning, because overseas, the blowback came fast and fierce. Turbulence ahead, China's Counterstrike and the global chain reaction. The U.S. tariff threat unleashed a swift global backlash. China retaliated with a 125% import tax on American-made jets, freezing or canceling billions in Boeing contracts. Pristine aircraft now sit grounded in storage, symbols of how one of Boeing's largest markets, once 20% of its orders, suddenly shut its doors. Sensing opportunity, Airbus and China's Comac pounced. Airbus leaned on its political neutrality and consistent output, while Comac, shielded from U.S. sanctions, expanded across Asia, Africa, and the Middle East. To airlines, Boeing began to look less like an industrial leader and more like a pawn of U.S. politics. At home, anxiety surged in Kansas and Missouri, where suppliers faced layoffs. Union leaders warned of a national misfire. A company that once built Air Force One was now trapped by its own government's policies. In trying to defend American manufacturing, Washington triggered a global counterpunch, and Boeing's business decision had morphed into a geopolitical crisis, shaking the foundations of U.S. industry. Before we taxi to the next point, smash that like button and hit subscribe. It keeps us flying higher and helps us reach more auto and industry enthusiasts just like you. Now let's shift gears and climb into the next chapter, where regulation meets reconstruction. Balancing act, production pressure, and the return of oversight. As tensions escalated, Boeing faced a dual struggle: ramp up production without eroding trust, and regain certification control under strict oversight. After the 2024 Alaska Airlines 737 MAX 9 panel blowout, the FAA capped Boeing's output at 38 jets per month, placing the company under intense scrutiny. By 2025, Boeing stabilized operations and sought approval to raise production to 42 jets monthly by October, with analysts predicting 53 by late 2026, if regulators agree. A new FAA framework restored limited self-certification authority, allowing Boeing and federal inspectors to alternate in issuing airworthiness certificates for the 737 MAX and 787. Flexibility has returned, but so has accountability. Quality and safety remain under a microscope. Meanwhile, delays to the 777X, now 2027, and uncertainty over a new 737 successor strain Boeing's roadmap. Each production boost now walks a tightrope between credibility and capacity, where one misstep could undo years of recovery and redefine America's aerospace reputation. But while Boeing steadies itself under watchful eyes, its biggest rival is already cruising at altitude. Altitude advantage. Airbus takes the lead. As Boeing wrestles with politics and production limits, Airbus is soaring ahead. In a defining milestone, the A320 family surpassed the Boeing 737 as the most delivered jetliner in history, with 12,260 units by October 2025, a triumph both symbolic and strategic. Delivering 507 jets in the first 9 months of 2025 and aiming for 800 by year's end, Airbus has mastered consistency while avoiding the political turbulence grounding its rival. Airlines now see Airbus as the safer bet, steady, insulated, and reliable. Even Turkish Airlines is reportedly weighing a partial shift from its Boeing MAX order to Airbus, citing engine supply concerns, a quiet but telling vote of confidence. Airbus's stability and neutrality have become weapons of trust, while Boeing finds itself judged not only on performance, but on politics. Once the symbol of U.S. industrial might, Boeing now must defend its credibility and its place in an aviation landscape increasingly ruled by Europe's calm precision. Yet Boeing isn't gliding into the sunset, it's attempting one final pivot to stay in the race. Course correction. Boeing's risky new flight plan. With China closing its skies and domestic pressure mounting, Boeing made a bold pivot, redirecting undelivered jets towards South Asia, Latin America, and Southeast Asia. Aircraft once bound for Chinese carriers found new homes in India, Indonesia, and Brazil. In Q1 2025, Boeing delivered 130 jets, up from 83 the previous quarter, an 18% year-on-year revenue boost that hinted at a fragile recovery. Yet, the turbulence runs deeper. The legacy of the 737 MAX crises, ongoing quality control doubts, and a loss of public confidence still shadow every success. Boeing must balance patriotism with pragmatism, proving loyalty to Washington while staying globally competitive. Plans for a new narrow-body jet remain in limbo, as both Boeing and Airbus wait for breakthroughs in engine efficiency and sustainability before committing billions. The road ahead is uncertain. Boeing must restore regulatory trust, production integrity, and global confidence, or risk being overtaken by rivals freer from politics and self-imposed turbulence. And as this high-stakes race nears its final approach, one question remains: can Boeing still lead the skies it helped define? Final approach. The verdict on Boeing's flight path. What began as a quiet cost decision has spiraled into a global trial of strength and identity. Boeing's offshore shift triggered Trump's tariff tirade, China's retaliation, Airbus's momentum, and a full-blown debate about globalization itself. This isn't just about airplanes, it's about America's industrial soul. Can a company born from innovation survive when nationalism, regulation, and geopolitics pull in opposite directions? Boeing's pivot may buy time, but it won't buy forgiveness. It must rebuild confidence, deliver without incident, and prove that American engineering still leads the world. Because if it doesn't, the skies might belong to someone else, and not just Airbus, but a new generation of state-backed challengers waiting to take off. Now let's hear from you. Do you think Boeing's global pivot is a smart survival move, or a dangerous compromise? Can Boeing regain trust after years of crisis? Or has Airbus permanently stolen the narrative? And beyond aviation, what does this tell us about America's ability to compete in a multipolar world? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to know where you stand on this turbulent topic. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next major update from your ultimate pit stop, Piston Pundit. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep your engines running and your curiosity in gear. You can now check out any of the videos on the screen. There's plenty more to explore.